Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of Between Two Lances. We have James Clark, and I'm going to point, even though this might not actually work when I do the editing. And we've got Maurice Robinson. Hey, how are you guys doing today? Go, James, go first.
Great. How are you doing today?
Excellent. Maurice, your turn.
Doing pretty good, all things considered. How about you?
Oh, yeah, considering the state of the awful world, and especially the country that we live in, can we be doing great?
As
No.
good as can be, I guess.
As great
Yeah.
as can be.
We can do our best. Yeah, that's one thing is like we can't ignore the crazy shit that is happening every day on every level all the time, which I feel like makes it even more important for people to like be as independent as possible
Oh yeah.
Right.
because I don't want to rely on any large organization ever.
Yeah, because we're seeing how that's going for people, honestly,
Yeah,
especially within the past few months.
definitely. Um, anyway, so that was a really bright, positive start to our conversation. But it's just true.
Right.
You can't get around
Yeah.
it. But thank you guys so much for being on our second episode. I was really excited that you said yes. We actually know each other from working together, and when I met them, I just told them, I was like, I wish we got more time to hang out at our training, and they were like, yeah, me too. Oh no, just kidding. They didn't say that. But I know I didn't give you this in your questions beforehand, but if you just want to say like really quickly, like a little brief intro, like we know your name, obviously, because I've just said it, but like, how would you describe yourself? Let's have a system. We'll go James first, Maurice second. And that's the alphabet order, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right. So I would consider myself a new freelancer, just for the simple fact that I am just a little bit over a year of experience doing freelancing, for the most part. Um, but like you said, my name is James, and a lot of people call me Jimmy. A lot of people don't know that though.
I'm going to call you that.
it- yeah, that works. I'll take Jimmy. And but yeah, basically I'm just now starting, like, fresh in the freelance world pretty much. And me and Maurice graduated together last May, the May of 2019, from the Bloomsburg University's Master of Instructional Technology program. So ever since then, just been getting our feet wet in the whole world.
Nice. Your turn.
Yeah, so similar story for me. New to the freelance world. This is actually my first contract. My last job was I was a full-time employee. I was an intern. So this is only my second job, like finishing the program. So I'm new to the freelance world. So I'm trying to still figure out like all the differences and similarities between like when you look for a freelance job versus when you're a full-time employee, stuff like that. But yeah, new, having fun so far. Honestly, I like working from home, so that's also a big thing. Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, that's the first question is, so what I know the answer to this, but for everybody else, like, what's your current contract situation or job situation? And I want to ask you, Maurice, too, when you answer that, what was it like? Was there like a stark difference when you left your full time to go into the contract that you're on now? So you can answer first.
Okay, so I don't forget the question. I would say, it wasn't too big of a difference because I feel like, well, right now we're all doing a contract with SCI, Strategic Education, doing course production. So I think the main difference is like job duty, because I was an instructional designer and like e-learning developer at Pico, which is Philadelphia Electric Company. Um, and now we're doing course production, so it's like a lot of Blackboard stuff. Before I was doing like Storyline, Articulate, Rise. But as far as like day to day, the main difference is that I'm working from home now. And then I would say it's not that bad because there's been a lot of communication. So it's pretty similar. It's not honestly that different besides having to wake up a little earlier to go to work. It was in the middle of the city, so that is also a huge difference. The fact that you go from seeing 1,000 different people every single day to I'm here just working.
Yeah.
And over my laptop.
How convenient that you made this transition at the brink of a global pandemic.
I say that all the time. It couldn't have been better timing, honestly, because everybody's like, "Oh, like I'm working from home. It's so different." I'm like, "This is actually what I was going to be doing regardless." So, pretty fine.
Awesome, James, you're up.
All right. So, like Maurice said, I work with you guys at Strategic Education Inc. And basically, this is actually my second contract job and second time working from home, which is funny because I never actually worked in an physical office before. So my last job was with PPL Corporation, which is it's a energy utilities company that's centered in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And basically I was a developer for them, and kind of like Maurice, where I would create different things using Articulate Storyline and do a whole lot of quality assurance checking and stuff like that. But the main thing is I work from home, which was great. So I feel like it was a perfect transition into what I do now, working from home again, because I pretty much have it down to a schedule where in the beginning I kind of had to like get a little bit of a feel for it and make my schedule like more easy for myself, more comfortable for myself. But I definitely prefer it now that I see it, because coming out of college, I was excited to work in an office itself, but now I feel like I'm kind of spoiled. So I kind of don't want to go back, or I didn't even go back, just go to that ever again.
I'm with you. I never ever want to go to an office like regularly. Like if it was a situation where a couple days a week or you could be flexible about it, I can see that, because even now, like I've been working from home since, I can't do maths right now, but for a while, and I have to leave the house sometimes to focus and get work done. So like to have a space to go to that I didn't have to go to, but I could choose to go to and choose to see people would be great. But to feel like, oh my God, I got to go every single day and commute and all that. Ugh, no, thank
Right,
you.
that's
And
a lot.
yeah. And did you guys, this is on a tangent, but not James has never had to work in an office, but Maurice, when you went, like I had to take public transportation. Like when I worked in New York, I was taking the subway, and then even in Florida, I rode my bike to the train. And it sounds cute in the beginning, and then after a while, it's a mess. What about you?
So I was taking the train every morning. Luckily, so I'm from Philadelphia, but I currently live in Long Island. So I was actually staying with my grandma, and so luckily she lived like right around the corner from the train station. But it was about like a 45-minute train ride, and then I would walk maybe like a block or two, and then get to the office. So I was kind of lucky both ways. I didn't have to walk far to get to the train, and I didn't have to walk far once I got off the train.
Well, you're both spoiled in that sense, but that's okay. No, it still sucks though, just having to be like, oh, I gotta like account for 45 minutes on the train. And then it felt like no matter how early I left, I still got there at the same time because stuff would be late, right?
Oh yeah, especially not to like talk bad about Philadelphia public transit. Sometimes it's a little more reliable than others. But
Understood. Yeah, definitely. And since you're both on contracts now, I'm going to ask a question that if you don't want to answer it, that's cool. It's some people take it as like a really personal question, but I'm just like, this is life. What do you do for health insurance? Do you have health insurance? Or are you kind of just skating by? Because I'm somewhere in the middle.
so
So
sorry. I'm kind of lucky. I'm only 24 years old, so I'm still under my mom's insurance. So I'm riding that until the wheels fall off.
Do it. I did. Yeah.
and my answer is the same. I'm also 24 years old, so riding until the
Yeah.
wheels fall off too.
See, people don't think about that kind of thing when they're they're just, when I always think about people and like getting into freelance stuff, and it's like you just never know what someone's situation is, and like to know that there's all different varieties. Like, yeah, you can be on your parents' health insurance until a certain age, or oh, there's these like plans out there that like they're kind of they're kind of crappy in the beginning, but until you figure stuff out or save money, you can kind of stay on them. But I just like to know those things. But if you need help when that sweet deal runs out, just let me know.
That 26th birthday comes around.
Every parent should just be putting money away like for college, but for health insurance for when someone turns 26. What is your daily schedule like in this life you have?
I'll let you go first, Jimmy.
All right. So basically my day starts at five in the morning, and I wake up at 5. Usually that's the time I tend to my dog. I take him out, bring him back to my room where he sleeps, and then I'll go to the gym. So or the track sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling. But because of COVID restrictions, the gym doesn't open up till 6. But if it opened up early, I'd be there earlier. But so I go there at 6 at the gym, and then I come back around 7, a little earlier than 7, and that's when I start my work day at 7. And from there on, I pretty much work straight through. The majority of my weeks are top heavy, meaning that on Monday I'll work maybe 10 hours, or basically I'll just keep going until I can't go anymore. And then from there I kind of ride like a down slope for the rest of the week. And then that's pretty much my work day in a nutshell.
Nice.
Same here, pretty much. Wake up maybe 6:45, do what I need to do, and then between 7 and 8 o'clock, whatever time, like I'm finished and ready to get to work. Depending on how like sleepy I still feel, I'll start, and then I'll go maybe from 7 until 4 or 5 earlier in the week, and then as the week starts to go to the end, then I might go at maybe from 9 to 1 on Fridays, and then so that's pretty much like what I like about the job too. Kind of make your own hours. So I work until the work stops earlier in the week, and then I work until I'm done Friday.
No, that's a good system, and I think that's something that people don't often realize, or they still think that like they're so used to this 9 to 5 schedule that they stress themselves out over it. And I mean, everybody has their own thing of the way they work, but like I would rather do what you're doing and work like, okay, I just know the beginning of the week it's going to be intense, but then it means you have like easier, freer time later. It's like, and with COVID stuff, it's like there are no days of the week anymore. Like it's just
Right.
It all blends together at this point.
yeah, it doesn't matter. But I can't believe you guys get up so early. I have a toddler and I don't get up that early. It's like you guys are like the poster children for like healthy lifestyles. It's insane. I feel like a lump of potatoes compared to that. Wow. What is like your ideal like contract, your ideal gig? If you could do anything with any group team on your own, what's the subject? Like if you could do anything.
Mm-hmm. So I guess like I guess the order is kind of a little messed up now. I'll just I guess I'll take it first.
It's cool.
I guess my dream gig would be something where I can kind of combine like my passion and like my undergraduate, which was criminal justice, with what I do now, like instructional technology or instructional design. So I guess something would be if I could work for like a federal law enforcement agency, or like the FBI or CIA or ATF or any one of those, and basically like build training within those corporations, agencies, and I feel like that'd be like perfect for me, just because it kind of matches like my passion with what I enjoy doing now, and like with my master's degree. And I feel like I would just really just enjoy waking up every day and just going and do something like that. It could even be, it doesn't even have to be remote at that point. It could be I can go into the office every day, but I feel like that's something I would definitely just enjoy and love doing every day.
Nice. That's really really interesting. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that at one point in my life I was training to be an ATF agent?
I did not know that.
Can you even imagine that?
That's interesting. I actually did an internship with the ATF.
Oh, you did? Cool.
For a little bit. That's really cool though.
It was very loose. Like my dad's friend is in
Mm-hmm.
the ATF and he was like, you'd be a great agent. And I'm just like, was really intense. Like, okay, I'm going to like train every day. I did get up early for that. And I would like
Mm-hmm.
run and train and like study and stuff. And then it, it never happened. But that's okay because I'm thinking about all the other stuff that would go with it. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure that I am cut out for it. What about you, Maurice?
So for me, it's honestly pretty similar to Jimmy, where I would like to see like eventually me working in like the government sector, doing ISD, instructional design, e-learning development, kind of getting back to what my my real focus was like in grad school. I did a lot of e-learning development, so I'd like to be able to go back to that. Anything where I'm really able to like kind of put my own type of creativity into it. So I think between like a government area, I feel like that's like good for job security. And then also like the tech field, like maybe like the new Google or something like that, you know, later on down the line, somebody to work for, but specifically e-learning development, definitely.
Nice. I can see you guys doing both of those things. It makes sense. I hope you get there. And I bet you will. Like you're the type of people who will just do it. Like I know you think that I don't know that much about you, and I don't, but I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. Um well, I don't know. Some people
I
might
appreciate
disagree
it.
with that. No, but that totally makes sense for you guys. What are three things that you wish you knew right now about freelancing that you don't know yet, or stuff that you're uncomfortable with that you want to know more about?
You can go.
All
You're
right.
so nice to each other.
So three things that I wish I knew now. I'd say the first would be one like great places to like look to find different freelance jobs. Um, and just the way that like I guess when I was first looking for freelance jobs, I didn't really like know where to look, so I kind of got a little overwhelmed. You know, I was like, you know, searching like the LinkedIn's and
Mhm.
Glassdoors of the world. But I know there's also uh, like smaller, well, less known places, like sites that you can find those places. So that'd definitely be one thing. The second would be, I guess, is there? I guess it's kind of like a B part to it, but I guess it'd be like where can I look? Is there like specific websites for like specific types of freelance jobs too? You know, where in the way where I was talking about, I want to do something within like law enforcement agencies and stuff like that. Is there like one where it's like kind of geared towards like maybe government contracts as opposed to, the opposite? And I guess the third, um, let me think.
It's okay if you don't
So
have one.
yeah, so I kind of burned myself out.
Those are big questions that have lots of sub questions in them. So it kind of,
hmm
what you already asked encapsulates lots.
Yeah, so it's pretty similar for me. I kind of like I felt like I wasn't really getting a lot of hits for like a long time using like Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, stuff like that. I feel like I wasn't getting like I would get calls and stuff like that, but I feel like it wasn't until we found like a smaller uh, freelance contract company where we really found like an actual gig to do. So I mean, I feel like being able to know like where you're most likely to find like viable contracts and stuff like that, different locations. I wish I knew more like about like tax form.
Mhm.
Like I feel like that's still something I gotta learn, like kind of going through.
Well, this is all stuff we have lots of material on. But
hmm
also, there's stuff that, like, what I'm hoping happens in the communities is that we'll ask stuff like this, and then, well, we have content, obviously, but then other people will chime in, and then there'll be like this really cool place where everybody can meet each other and share that kind of knowledge because that's really how things happen. It's just making those connections, meeting other people, like, oh, I met someone who actually needs someone who does exactly what you do, and stuff like that. But also the other thing I wanted to mention is that we should start a job listing company called Indoor, as you just said. Because
So I feel like that's kind of where I thought IDLance was such like a good idea, because what brought me to SCI was that Jimmy had just been hired, and he was like, "Yeah, you should look into it. I feel like they're still looking for people." And then that's when I applied, and then eventually was able to get the job. So I feel like even more than all the job websites, um, personal connections helps like a lot. I think goes a long way, because some stuff you just might not find in those larger areas, but just knowing people, I feel like is the best thing. And I feel like I've heard like a lot of times people say that they've gotten jobs from people they know, or through people they know.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely. And then it ends up just kind of snowballing. And that's one thing that I get really excited about when I talk to other people who are either just starting or who have been in for a little while, is that once you make those like initial things happen, it just kind of keeps rolling. Like if you are good at what you do, or even if you're just willing to learn, and you can be given a project and maybe you're not an expert at it, but you just know that you know the questions to ask, and you're just like a personable person. That's a cool phrase. It just starts snowballing, and then before you know it, like you have people referring you to other people, and then yeah, that's what's cool about it. What is your favorite curse word that's not a real curse word?
Go ahead, Maurice.
All right, so I'll go. So for me, I feel like if if I can't say it, I won't say it. So I
You can
don't.
say it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Like if
Oh,
I just won't. For the most part, I'll say like oh goodness, like I'll turn like into like a really old person. So, I'll be like oh Lord or Lordy and stuff like that. Like it's never. Yeah. Like I feel like instead of cursing, I just turn like into like a really older character of myself.
oh lordy is, I think that's in my top 3 now. Oh lordy, I like that one. All right, Jimmy, you're up.
All right, so I'd say probably along the lines of like gosh darn it is probably like one of my like standard ones, but like if something like I don't know, something with my dog happens, I'll probably be like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, something like that, like along those lines, where like I'm just looking at him like you didn't have to do that, like you didn't have to tear up my pillow, like something along those lines, like there's like levels to it basically, but that's pretty much how that goes.
I like that. I used to say, well, I still say Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the shepherds. That's a good one. Um, and also I say this is a real one, but that gets misinterpreted as a not one by my kid is I say Jesus a lot, like Jesus, and I don't know why. It's
Mm.
just I don't know if it's because I went to Catholic school or what, but she says she thinks it's Cheez-Its.
Jesus.
So she's like, Cheez-Its, mommy, Cheez-Its.
One of the funniest ones I've ever heard. This is like when I was much younger. I heard somebody say buffalo biscuit. Like like uh, oh buffalo biscuits. Like I forget what it was for, but I was just shocked. Like I've never heard anybody say.
That's the main takeaway that I'm getting out of this conversation is oh lordy and buffalo biscuit. Maurice, you win. Anyway, well, thanks everyone for watching Between Two Lances episode 2. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Maurice. Is there anything else you would like to say? It's okay if you don't. You can also just go, bye.
I just want to say, thanks for having us and interviewing us. Thanks for putting us on to the whole process with beta testing and stuff like that. It's been great. And I look forward to experimenting and experiencing more with, the website and what to do.
That's so nice.
Definitely. Same here. I definitely appreciate the opportunity, one, the beta test, and two, the interview. Like, can give me and Maurice the chance to talk about ourselves a little bit, and like getting a chance to talk about our program and our background, even though like we're so new into the industry and stuff like that. And I feel as though moving forward, that your organization is like really going to help us. Even just because we're just now starting out, so we have so much more to learn going forward.
Well, I just want everyone to know I didn't pay them to say any of that.
Nope.
Nope. And they're just awesome. And I forgot to say, yeah, they beta tested our site, and I didn't mention that. So thanks also to you guys for doing that. Thanks for letting me talk to you and hopefully not be too boring or ask silly questions. And it doesn't matter that you guys are new. You guys are already like way ahead of a lot, including myself in so many ways. And I feel like I need to take some inspiration from you. I can't wait to see what happens in your careers. And I'm not saying that because we're on this, you just have this kind of X factor where you're just calm, cool, collected, get shit done. And then you yeah. And you seem to have very balanced lives, which is hard. So yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm going to stop recording.